Hey, everybody. Welcome to the pod. Today we have Ruth Ramsey, or Ruthless Reselling, as you may know her, on the pod. Welcome, Ruth.
Thank you.
Yes, we're so happy you're here.
Thanks.
And Ruth is a full-time reseller, and she specializes in Poshmark. You know what? She's actually just hit 1.5 million in gross sales on the app.
Insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah. And she used to work in corporate fashion buying and kind of has pivoted to the secondhand market. And she's passionate about helping others navigate the resale space while promoting a more sustainable approach to fashion. And so are we. Welcome, Ruth.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So you used to be a buyer. Who did you buy for?
So I started off at Neiman's. If you live in Dallas, you pretty much, if you want to work in fashion, we have Neiman Marcus as a headquarters and JCPenney. So I started at Neiman's. I worked there for about 6 years and then I was there for a while. It was a great company to work for, and then transitioned and worked at JCPenney in the buying office for 1 year. Didn't last long there at all, and then decided to had a little bit of a quarter life crisis and was like, I'm leaving corporate America, and then started reselling kind of as not even, I didn't have a job, but it was just something to hold me over until I went back to corporate America. And then this just continued to be successful. So I've been doing it full time now for I think 5 years, give or take.
1.5 million in 5 years is huge.
That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's 5 years. I am not great at knowing those timelines. Time seems to be, I feel with reselling too, it's you know how it started, but and also, but it's been about 5 years.
There's not a lot of benchmarks throughout the process.
Right. You also don't have a boss that's here's your yearly review.
Yeah.
It's just me being okay, I need to look at the year. So
yeah, so true.
Yeah, I just bought some stuff from Neiman Marcus last call. I got a Missoni Afghan wrap for $70. I was like, what is happening?
That's amazing.
But then they shut down the website.
Closed. Yeah, it's closed. Oh, okay. You got, yeah. I just went to their last call, which is it was this great store. And it closed yesterday. So yeah, Neiman's is definitely going through a lot of transitions now. So I'm kind of happy to be out of that because pretty much everyone I know that's still there was let go in the last few months. Yeah.
And Saks bought them recently, right? Isn't that why they're all going bankrupt? It's Saks, Neiman, and who's the other one?
So yeah, Saks bought Neiman's, and then Neiman's owns Bergdorf Goodman, which is
that's the other one.
So Bergdorf Goodman is this. I don't think anything bad will ever happen at Bergdorf Goodman, but yeah, Neiman's should never have been bought by Saks. So, but there was rumblings of that even when I was there.
Wow.
So it's been a long time coming.
That's awesome.
Yeah, some of my favorite stuff to find is dead stock from Neiman's and Bergdorf because it's always so beautiful and silk and linen from the 80s. Ugh.
So well made too.
Yes, when it has that label, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah. And so you got into reselling. It sounds like you, like everyone else, kind of fell into it.
Yes. So at Neiman's, we had sample sales. So I was you get all this stuff, you get crazy stuff. And then I was well, I don't really know what to do with this stuff. And so I started reselling. And then I watched, you guys know, I don't think she does anything in the space now, but Empty Hanger.
No, but I've heard of her.
Yeah, so I think she now does Amazon, but she had she was making YouTube videos where she went to a thrift store, and it changed my mindset where I was oh, people go to stores not to it was a different way of thinking where it was okay, I'm walking in a store just to make or just to make money. And so that for me was a light bulb where I was oh, and then I started doing that, and then it just continued to grow from there.
That's so cool. And grow exponentially, which is amazing.
Thanks.
So do you focus mostly on luxury goods, right?
Yeah, it took me a while to get there. I didn't, when I first started, even though I had come from luxury, I didn't want to spend a lot of money at the beginning. So
yeah.
I did not, probably for the first year and a half, I did Free People and just whatever I could find. But then I started there was actually a store in New York City that was closing. and I was randomly there with a friend, and I was able to get a bunch of like super high-end pieces, and that kind of gave me the capital to start moving into luxury, because I had exposure to it, but it's such an investment to get into
It
luxury,
is.
like, and you have to be able to sit, like, that's one thing I always tell people that are like wanting to get into it, is like, make sure that if this doesn't sell for a while, you don't have like a credit card payment that you have to pay off
Mhm.
right after that. Like, I think sometimes when you see different people, like I'm sure even with palettes, like, you see people and it's like, oh, I should buy a palette. And it's like, well, yes, there is a lot of opportunity there, but you have to be able to like afford that palette and not
Right.
pay. And like,
Mhm.
that's so hard to convey, because you see people on social media and like, it looks so cool, but there
And it
is a
looks so
lot behind.
easy. Like, they just make it look like, oh, they
Yes.
just went out and bought all these, like,
Right.
luxury goods. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's such a good point, because it is like, you have to be able to do it where you're not completely stressed out about it. And also, like, I think we all have learned, especially with Poshmark, that like, there's not always a timeline. You can think something will sell really fast and it won't, or you can expect something to sit forever and it will sell quickly. And like, a lot of the time it
Right.
is a guessing game.
No, it's so true. And like, just understanding that like things are going to take a while, and brands are, you can be like, one of the things I realized is, even on like the super high end, I sell some of that, but like things that are over $500 retail, like that takes such a long time to move, because it's such a specific customer. So
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say luxury, what do you mean? Because I mean, if things are sitting for 500, or like what is like your typical piece that you buy, like your cost of goods, and what does it typically sell for?
it varies. Like, I have ways where I can get things for, like, I'll spend a lot if I'm going to make a lot. Like, I'm always, especially now, I think for me, like, luxury, and really when the thing that I have been able to get a lot of is like Zimmerman. Like, Zimmerman
Oh,
takes a
that's
Mhm.
my
while to sell its
dream.
beautiful stuff. I know. I know.
I want to wear it.
I know, same, same. I let myself try it on. There's like one piece that I just sold that I like let myself try on, but I was like, where am I wearing this
No,
dress
exactly.
to?
Like, I don't
I know.
I don't have
And
anywhere to go in
it's
that.
so frilly and beautiful,
Mhm.
and whoever bought it, I'm sure she ended up, it just sold. So I was like, okay, whoever's wearing this is going to look
That's
amazing,
awesome.
but just not my vibe. Zimmerman, I feel like if I can get it for less than like $150, then I can sell it for like $300 to $400, and then I'm making a great margin on that. So
Yeah.
that I feel like is luxury for me.
Mhm. No, I think it's really interesting too, because I do feel like most people in the reseller space, not all, but most, are thrifting for a couple dollars, maybe like $10 an item, and reselling for like $20 to $50 an item, you know? So I think this is so unique, and it's really interesting, and it obviously is like a lot more of a gamble on your end. Do you feel like you have gotten pretty good at figuring out what will sell, or do you end up still with stuff you just like have to hold on to forever? What do you do with those pieces?
So if it's nicer, I send it into the Real. I do sell a little bit on the Real. Don't necessarily advocate for selling on the Real, but if
Yeah.
I am big into turn. Like, as much as I can sit with it for a year or a year and a half. I'm not gonna have, like, I have other friends that do the reselling, and they'll have things for like 5 years. I
Yeah, I'm
can't
not that
tell
way
you what
either.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not, that doesn't, I'm not gonna hold on to something, because especially, like, if I was able to get like a crazy good deal on something, as long as I'm making the margin I want to make, like, I'm good to move it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
need to like hold, this idea of like, oh, this thing was $5,000 originally, so I need to sell it for like $2,000. Like, that's not reality
Yeah. It
in our
doesn't really mean
space.
anything anymore. Yeah.
Right, right. Maybe before it did, but like, there's so much off price now. So I think for me, it's, you find, I use ThreadUp too. Like, I send things
Mhm.
in bulk to ThreadUp, and that's kind of just a wash. Like, I don't, Real, I can sometimes make my money back and get a little bit of profit, but it's just kind of like at the very end of it. But I don't do that a ton. I think, I try to be really smart about what I'm buying. And so typically I can move it, because also my business is very brand focused. So I'm very big into like understanding brands. I think coming from
Mhm.
Neiman's, we were such a like, obviously that's how you look at what you're buying. And so for me, it's always been about like, even when I first started, it was Free People. Like, I just became an expert on like, figured out rare pieces of Free People, but it was always
Right.
about the brand.
Isn't it
That's
so
cool.
interesting how all of us are so different? Like Amanda specializes in palettes. Mine is more like vintage high end, I would say.
Very cool.
And but it's I really feel like it's whatever we're interested in. And I know people say don't buy what you like, but I kind of do feel like you have to be buying things that you're interested in and you like.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily like, "Oh, this is cute." It's like, I don't know. For me, it's like the weird things sell. Like, I sell a lot of novelty Kate Spade
Mhm.
purses and things like that where it's, like,
So
super
cool.
weird stuff. What did your if you're comfortable with this, what did your numbers start out like when you first started? If you have any, like,
I
general
can look.
and then, like,
I mean,
where are you now in terms of, like, annual? I'm always really interested.
so yeah, I think my first year, let me look. This is so bad.
It's not
Um,
bad.
I let me look. I mean, what's great about Poshmark, and when I first started, this was not. Oh wait, I just deleted the app because they're rolling out all these changes, and so I want it to come up on my. They just announced it like 30 minutes ago. I want it. It's not showing up right now on my Poshmark, so I deleted my Poshmark because I
That's
want it
okay.
to show up. I think my first year, I think I might have sold like 90,000. That could be so wrong. I need to look at that. But that was like I was
That's great.
super I think that's right. If I so I don't know.
No,
I mean,
we'll
it's
see.
still so impressive, though. Yeah.
I
Amazing.
think that's right though. That could be so wrong. I literally this is probably just you don't have to keep this in here, but it's like I'll tell my accountant, like I go into my accountant and like we pay my taxes and then I literally forget about the number. Like I'm very like forward
Yeah.
thinking. But then now, so last year I posted this, so I feel super comfortable talking about this. Last year I sold $400,000 on Poshmark and on Whatnot. Whatnot has been something that's very different for me in my business, like, but I
Mhm.
really enjoyed it. I specialize in like Anita Bing. I have Anita Bing subscription. And there's a lot of fakes on Poshmark, so like I like on
What?
Whatnot. I could stand. Yeah,
Yeah.
The fakes are so weird. I picked up 2 the row bags at Salvation Army. I'm not sure if they're fake. They might be, but I've just started using one because I'm like, this is
yeah,
and I've bought ones before and I'm like, this is clearly fake.
Mhm.
But it is interesting. The faking of items that aren't, I mean, the row is obviously very high end, but I guess like I hear there's also like Lululemon faking.
Oh, yeah, and aloe is getting faked so hard
Like
right now, it's
what?
absurd. Yeah.
How do you
I know on
know?
Whatnot. On Whatnot,
Mhm.
I see that quite a bit. You can
Mhm.
tell, like, it's so, I mean, I think, like, it's frustrating, especially because, like, a lot of times the people that are buying it, they don't know it's fake. Like, that's what I get frustrated about. Is like, if
Yeah.
you can't afford a real item, like a row bag, but like then to sell it again and to market as fake or market as real, it's like,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's what I get frustrated about. And like,
I
I
know.
don't think there's a lot of fake the row bags, so you might have
Right.
2 real ones. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I
I know.
mean,
Have you authenticated them? I'm sure you could.
so I did, and they came back as not, but the reasons they gave me were really weird. It was like
Mm.
and it's definitely suede inside. I wish I had it up here to show you, but I'm like,
Who
whatever.
did you use?
Um, I don't know. Who do you all use?
I've been using Authentic Detective. I really like them.
Okay, I tried real authentication, but like their
Okay.
reasoning for why it wasn't real didn't make any
Was
sense. It was
Yeah.
like the coloring is not the same, but I'm like, that's just lighting. Like that,
Yeah. Yeah, like,
like
that's
Yeah.
and if you look at it in real life, it's like super soft. It's not like glove tan leather, but I'm like, this
Suede
feels
though.
yeah, suede inside and then on the outside it's soft leather and I'm like, this is very much leather. And I've seen fake the row bags. Amanda and I are very type B, so it's like we're
Oh,
always
yeah.
flying by the seat of our pants.
Same.
Okay,
Same.
yeah.
Really?
I know I'm always, like,
Yeah.
a little nervous. I'm like,
Okay, so
yeah,
how
we might
okay.
stress a type A person out, but
I'm so curious about this because I was telling Amanda this. I randomly was talking to the producer of Brene Brown's podcast, and she's also very type B, and they're a very successful podcast. And I'm like, oh, you can be really successful in type B because you hear all of this like rhetoric that type A is better. I would love to hear it because somebody who has sold as much as you, both of you actually have sold like a shit ton of product and run really successful businesses and are type B. I want to hear about that from both of you. Like, what does your day look like?
I'll let Ruth go first because I'm
Okay.
just kind of so overly chaotic. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I've tried to do like a day in my life and I'm like, it would be like, I have filled one that was, it wasn't fake, but it was like, because I wake up when I wake up naturally, like I don't have an alarm. I mean, I don't have kids, so,
I have kids and I still do that.
okay, good. That's good to know. I listened to a podcast that said that it was good to wake up to the sunlight. So I've told myself that that's why. And then, yeah, like even when you guys are asking me numbers, I'm like, like there are times where I know I have to be on top of that. And then other times I just kind of let it go. And then, one thing like right now, Poshmark has been really cracking down on shipping on time. And I do ship on time. But there are times where I'm like, I can't find that and life happens and I just don't ship it, or I ship it late and then like whatever. And so they've been like, I got in trouble for that. And I'm like, yeah, I think being type B, it's just, I'm always going to be like that. Like I'm never going to be, and running a business. I think what's great about, having your own business is you are your own boss. So like, if there are times where I really need to work, then I'll like, be focused. But most of my day is just kind of,
what you want to do when you want to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. I get that. I feel like for me, it's like, I can't, the kids play a huge factor because I can't create like a strict schedule because they will mess it up. So I have to be much more go with the flow. So I think in a way, like being type B kind of like helps with that because it doesn't stress me out too much. I know I'll just like find another pocket of time where I can get stuff done. But I do, and maybe this is like a little more like ADHD mixed with type B, but I do find that like I can hyper focus on stuff like that. And I think that has made me successful, is like being able to just like have a laser focus on one thing and get that done. And like I feel like with brands, I've always been like I can hear someone talk about one good brand one time and it's like I will always remember that. And I feel like that's something that is good for me that maybe other people don't have. And then they have more organization skills or things like that I don't have. So I think it like, I don't know. It all balances out. But
yeah. I also heard that type A, type B was created. They were doing tests on who has heart attacks more often. And that was actually why they were categorizing people. And guess who has heart attacks more often? According to that study. Type A. No, type A, not us.
No, yeah. Because I'm around people that are type A and I'm like, you're stressed. Like,
dude, my husband, I'm like, are
really?
You okay? Yeah, he's so type A.
My husband is like type B plus. He would probably be more type A if I were not around. But planning wise, he's like, oh, I'm going to Patagonia for 2 weeks. I better book my flight. It's in 2 weeks. He's like that kind of person too. So,
oh my gosh, my husband would literally die. We were in New York last year and we were sharing a hotel room with my sister and my brother-in-law. And I like took my contacts out and my brother-in-law was like, oh no, how are we gonna like remember whose contact cases are whose? And I had 2 left caps on mine. And he's like, never mind. He's like, we all know who travels with like I'm like, I didn't even notice. Like,
but I think it's a benefit. I do in terms of like reselling, because it's like being able to like that was something as I skip around every sentence. But I have always had this ability to tell what brands are. Not all brands, but like I'm like, oh, I know what brand that is. I don't know why. And it's not useful in any part of my life. So I was like, I should put that to use because, being able to spot those brands. But again, I couldn't tell you if a left or right cap or, my husband's socks say left and right on them.
Wait,
it's like, but I'm like, you can never match them up. I'm like, I can never find the proper ones.
Oh, right.
So
no, that's so funny. Yeah, literally my life. I know I'm like somewhat organized if I have a clean pair of socks that I've like folded in my, like I can't, I don't even have like, I have lost so many passports that the U.S. government will only give me a year-long passport.
That's incredible.
And then, later
like,
I'm
you
like,
get one.
I like spent all this money because I had a trip and I was like, oh, I need a passport. And then my fiance opened it up and he was like, this is only valid for 1 year. I was like, oh, okay. Because I've lost so many.
That's crazy.
That's so funny.
I love it. I've lost my passport. I was in Italy and I just like left it at the bank and we got to the next town. This was after college and my friends were like, we can't get on the plane. And I was like, whoops, I guess I guess. And it always works out is the thing. It's like, if I can't find my ID, I can find my passport. And It's just a more fun, not having drama in my life. It gives me a little bit of dopamine. And does your husband have a corporate job, or your fiance?
He does have a corporate job, but he does work from home. So
I have
nice.
this theory that the best partnerships in life are when there's one corporate person and one 1099 person, or like self-employed, because it's like you can't eat corporate 9 to 5. You have to be focused for all that time. How does anything else get done?
no,
Oh.
so true. That's funny. I'm gonna tell him you said that.
So you mentioned that last year you earned $400K. What is like your take home or your profit on that?
So it varies, and I don't look at an overall. Like, I'll do a monthly margin. So because the only thing that maybe I am a little bit type A about is my margins. I think coming from corporate, that has been super important to me. So like, if my business isn't operating at an overall profit of about 50 to 60%, give or take, then I don't feel like I'm doing what I need to do. Now, that number is complicated because that my Whatnot margins are much smaller because
Yeah.
it's Whatnot, and the things I sell on Whatnot are like things I enjoy to sell, and it's enjoyable for me, so it's different. But Poshmark, I'm pretty strict about those. But I have the thing about, like, if you probably were to go on and like look at my Poshmark closet, you'd be like, how is she making that margin? But I have ways, because I've been like really open-minded and I like have made really great connections, that I have ways of getting pretty incredible pieces for like pennies on the dollar.
That's
Mhm.
great.
So that helps with my margin. And so I'm always looking at like an overall margin, because there are things that maybe I'm not going to be able to make that, but then I have other things that help that. So I look at it like overall profit margin.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, no,
No,
that
it
makes
does.
total
I
sense.
think
Okay.
that's great. I also think it's like sometimes there are like it's like hard for resellers to like calculate their success, you know? So I
Right.
think that's a good way to do it. Is like if you know what margins you feel comfortable with and that's like what is success in your eyes, like I think that's great.
Yeah,
So
that's
how many Whatnot shows do you do, like a month or a week? Because they're fairly like occasional, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I try to do one a week every
Cool.
Thursday. I try.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No,
That's
I know
awesome.
you do a lot, so I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I'm down to like one a week right now, and it's
okay.
been
Are you
good. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
we talked to somebody last week. How many did Kelsey do? Lucky and
I mean,
Love?
she's doing like 5 a week. Some of them are 8-hour streams, and I'm like, I love her for that, but like, I would have to sit in a dark room for 2 hours after that. Like,
Same.
And she loves
that would
it.
do
She's
me
like,
in.
it doesn't exhaust me
Yeah.
at all. She's like, it's so
No,
fun.
I know. I know. Whatnot is really good for people like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you cross list at all? Because it doesn't sound like you cross list.
So I don't. I do a little bit with Depop, but honestly, not enough. And then I had sold on eBay when I was working at Neiman's, because I don't Poshmark was around, but it like wasn't super popular at the time. So I did sell on eBay. I hate eBay.
Me too.
Okay.
Oh my God. But you can sell things on there, but it's so like,
Yeah.
it's so old. Like the interface is so difficult to use.
I haven't been on it in probably like 5 years.
It hasn't changed.
Yeah. I used to sell on eBay, and I think I got like one negative review like years and years ago, and I like tried to fight it because I thought it wasn't valid, blah, blah, and like they were like, absolutely not. And then ever since then, I was like, I don't want to sell on eBay. But I do know I'm definitely leaving money on the table by not selling on eBay, because I do know that like people around me, like I have like my family members and friends that resell more as like side things, and they sell on eBay, and they're like, Ruth, you have to get on eBay. But
Yeah. I think you have to get on Vestiaire, because that one for
Really?
luxury, luxury buyers. And I have a lot of buyers who are out of the country who buy on there. Same with Etsy. I don't know if you do any vintage, but if you do vintage luxury, Etsy, people are like buying all over the world. Those are
So
my
cool.
higher streams than eBay is like fine. But yeah, I highly recommend
Cool.
Vestiaire for luxury.
Okay. Yeah. I had been on it, and then I think I just like type B. I just like,
Admin.
Yeah.
yeah, and then I
Stop.
forget. But I
Yeah.
do want to start. Like, I think that one of the things is being so reliant on one platform,
Mm-hmm.
especially with, they like suspended my account for 24 hours because of shipping and because of like, I don't even know. And I was like, I can't like just be reliant on one app.
Right. You're right.
So
You're like, that's my whole income. Like I need,
yeah,
yeah.
I literally was like, what do I do? So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Yeah, that is scary.
the cross listing. I know Amanda uses Nifty. I use Vendu because of Vestiaire, and it's the only platform it
Okay.
integrates with, and so that's why I use
I'm
it.
gonna
But
write
I'll
that
send you
down.
information about how to get on as
Yeah.
a professional seller, because
Okay.
they take lower fees and you get like different
Oh.
perks. You too, Amanda, if you want to start selling some of
I know.
because like your Reformation stuff, and there's a lot of
I know. I need
brands.
to start listing more. I'm like not listing at all right now. It's a
But you
problem.
do what? But you do Whatnot, and you're doing really well.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's like Whatnot is so overwhelming. If like you're doing so much, like I just, yeah,
Yeah.
I need to get back to listing more because there's like so much money there. But
Yeah. Well, I have so much money in my storage. Amanda knows this. I have more than 1,000 unlisted pieces because yeah, I
I love
know.
that.
I know. It makes everyone want to vomit. And I'm just now saying it out loud. So that is my new goal for the next 3 months is to get everything listed and then all my stuff refreshed. And so, because it's just like sitting there, it's vintage, it's
Oh.
luxury.
And it's good stuff. It's like
like
really good stuff.
it's really good stuff. So many Coach bags and like I mean,
Ugh.
it's all leather and I don't know what is wrong. So that is my 3-month plan is to get everything listed. It might be fewer than 1,000. It might be more. I
You don't
don't,
know.
I don't know. It's all just sitting in storage. So that is my thing, but I would definitely not be making what I'm making without cross listing. So like, and this is not an ad or anything. It's just like, y'all got to get on
No.
Vestiaire.
Okay, yeah, I need to get on Vestiaire. I have heard that, and I feel like, it's like taking the time to sit down and do it, but like the payoff is so great. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you use a tool, it's not that. It's like super easy. And
okay,
once you, like the first few times, it is a little tricky because they make you put your photos in a specific order. And
Hmm.
so you have to but now Vendu has like a thing that it flags it and it's like, hey, you need the front of the purse, then the inside, then the tag, and then the back, and then the strap. So
oh,
it tells you now. It didn't used to. So I would get rejected all the time for listings.
okay,
So
That's interesting.
Bendu.
yeah.
Okay,
So it's people are especially overseas because I mean, people want
Yeah.
stuff
They'll spend
from.
money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amanda, do you sell beyond Poshmark and Depop and Whatnot right now?
Yeah, I sell a lot on eBay.
Oh,
I
do you?
actually like I feel like I'm like the outlier here. I really like eBay. Like I don't like all the games that like eBay makes you play, but I really like eBay. I feel like I mean it goes back and forth with Poshmark and eBay, but a lot of the time like I make more money on eBay and I post the exact same stuff on
Hmm.
both, you know? So,
Interesting. Do you have more
yeah, I
reviews or more sales on eBay? Because
probably I know I think I have more sales on Poshmark because I started out on Poshmark for so long only doing that. But yeah,
Hmm.
I think it depends. I also get like in my palettes, I get quite a bit of men's stuff, and I feel like men's does better on eBay.
that's
So
true. Men's is a
I think, yeah, I
yeah,
also price like really competitively. So I think maybe just because there's more people like eyes on my stuff on eBay, and that might sell faster that way too.
maybe you could answer this question. eBay has been changing my prices and dropping them
What?
every. Yeah.
Oh,
What is
I think
that?
there's like a toggle you might have something toggled on. I think it's like what is it? It will like after a certain amount of time, it will like drop your prices
Okay.
because it's like trying to stay
huh.
competitive. I would turn that off.
I don't even know how
Yeah.
it got turned on. Maybe
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll
that's so
email their
weird.
support. But yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Ruth, like I had something sell the other day, like a luxury item, and it was like $30. No, it was a pair of Manolo Blahniks, vintage Manolo Blahniks. It sold for $100, and I was like, "Why are they priced at $100? I had them priced at $300. Like, what is
What the
happening?"
heck?
Yeah, and
I
then
know, and then you have to
No.
be you can't cancel, like, I mean, you
Mhm,
can cancel on eBay, but then you get in trouble. I do
mhm,
feel like eBay does have, like, this, like, they're ruling with an iron fist, and, like, you have to be so careful not to F your account up, and
yeah.
I hate that.
Mine
Like,
was effed up
I do feel
before,
like yeah, yeah. I
and
know,
it
I feel like I'm pretty low right now. I've always been, like, a top-rated seller, but I think I'm, like, an average seller or something right now because it was, like, when I wasn't listing consistently, I, like, missed like, I shipped a few things late or something, and it, like, it'll tank your account so fast.
yeah. I mean, it does.
And I don't like that.
And for like 6 months. So at
Yeah.
one point, Ruth,
Yeah, it's hard to crawl out of that hole.
I turned off my eBay
Jeez.
because I'm like, so I deleted every single listing and I turned it off and then waited like a month and turned it back on. And now it's fine. It's really weird. So that's how I got around because I canceled some stuff. So it's like, it's all just like a game. I feel like with
No, I feel that
Poshmark too. How do you do your listings? Do you use AI? Do you just do it from like a list of keywords or how do you?
I am I had a call with Poshmark about this and they literally were like, we've never heard of anyone doing anything like what you do. Which I was like, okay. So I do it all myself. Like I get the stock photos, I take the photos, I put in the I always find the style name because I don't do vintage. So I think that's such a cool business. And like, I wish I knew more about vintage. And I feel like Texas and Austin, when you go to Austin, there's going to be incredible vintage. I'll have to tell you, I don't source in Austin, but remind me, my mom likes to, she does a little bit of reselling and she can find incredible vintage pieces. So she'll know the good place to go. So I'll send you a list of places to go.
Thank you.
But yeah, and then I put in all of the like style name and then I do I don't do any measurements. So
I don't either.
Okay, I didn't used to and now I started doing it and again it's just because it's vintage. And so
yeah, that's I feel like that is different
get that.
because sizing was so different.
And on my pants. So you don't do them on your jeans or pants or anything and people still buy. Because I get so many questions and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to measure them all and you guys can and they still sell. Okay. This is 2 people who don't do measurements. This is cool.
Yeah. I feel like Ruth, like, I don't know exactly what you do, but like kind of getting a little eye into it. I kind of feel like I also, like, I used to be very by the book and like all the little tips that everyone is doing. I was like going above and beyond and spending so much freaking time doing it. And I'm like, I don't have the time for this. So I dropped down to just like so basic, like, sometimes my pictures aren't even that good. Like, I know they're clear and you can see all the details, but like maybe I should have steamed that item that I didn't really want to steam and stuff still sells. So sometimes I feel like people just like really overcomplicate things. I do think vintage is a little different with sizing, so I can understand measurements, but like when you're listing so much, measurements take so much time.
That's why I have a
For me,
profit pile.
I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm literally not doing that. And if people ask for measurements, I don't give it to them.
Same.
I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm not doing it. Like, someone else will buy it.
Yeah, same. I mean, sometimes the only time where I kind of feel, but I still don't do measurements. Like, unless it's like, I probably have done a couple measurements last year. If someone asks me pit to pit, I do understand that. Like, if it's something that they're worried about. And like, I understand that one. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, but then I still will tell them, like, no, I'm not doing measurements. Because I feel like there was a time where I had someone that I literally hired to do measurements. And then I would have people that would return it or they would open a return case. They're like, it's a half an inch too smaller than what you said. And I was like, okay, like
they use it against you almost.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, like maybe you stretched it or, so I just never felt like the amount of time it takes for my items. And typically I feel like the people that are buying my items probably know the brand, probably know how
that's so
things
true.
fit. And like,
they're looking for a specific thing.
Yeah.
They're not just scrolling and stumbling upon your listing. Yeah.
Right. Especially because of how detailed I am. Because I do make sure, like, if I can't find the style name, like that is one thing I am spending time on is like, I'm going to find the style name. Even if it's like a Chanel runway piece from like, which those things take me forever. But like more, some things are really quick, but like if I can find the style name and I can get like, but then a lot of times too is like, I'm not the fabric content. I'm just pulling from online. Like, I'm just like, okay, here it is online. Like, I'm not looking at fabric content. And then it's really easy. Like and then I spend a little bit of time on like, obviously how much it costs and like understanding my profits with that. But I can list something super quickly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Cross listing does take forever. That is like the one thing where I'm like, last night I was drafting a ton of items and I'm like, this is so fast if I was just drafting it. But like in cross listing, you have to go through and each one has different things you have to input. And it's like, where was it made?
Exhausting.
Because of the damn tariffs. Like, like I don't. Yeah, so you have to like say like on eBay, where was it originally made? Which makes no sense because that's not where it's coming from. Like it.
Crazy. I didn't realize that is like a thing.
it's a
Huh.
new thing where you have to say where it's from, not where you're shipping from, which is like,
Hmm.
but tariffs are from here. Anyway, um,
Hmm.
I love that both of you are super successful and you do things like your own way because I am a person who gets caught up in like watching other people because I don't know what I'm doing. I just
Yeah.
started reselling last year
Oh, wow.
and I'm like, oh, I have to do this and this and this. And then I just don't do any of it and I go
No,
sourcing.
I was in the exact same boat. I was getting
Really?
so overwhelmed by feeling like I had to do all of these things, and especially because 'cause I'm a mom, I'm like, "I don't have that time." Like, I don't have the time to do all of that. So for me, I was like, it's better to get my listings up than to have them sit in a pile in my room because 'cause I'm too overwhelmed, and I feel like it's gonna take me too long to photograph and list everything. So I do think there is something to be said for just, like, getting them up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I also I think measurements are good. Like, I do think like, I would probably still recommend people do that even though I
Yeah.
don't. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just I
It's
don't know.
almost like for some of the ones that I listed a long time ago, I'm going through and I'm taking measurements of like just jeans because I'm like
Yeah.
jeans and leather jackets for whatever reason, they will sell better if they have measurements
Mhm.
from my experience. But again, it's because they're vintage. Like that's
Yeah.
and
I get that.
what I do find is surprisingly, at least what I'm selling, people have tailored a lot of the stuff. And so I'm like, the inseam says
Yeah.
it's 30, but it's actually
It's definitely
26.
not. Yeah.
And so I was getting return cases on the opposite side of you, Ruth, where people were like, this says it's this size, but here are the measurements.
Mhm.
And Poshmark
Oh,
was approving them because it wasn't but I'm like, it's what the size is. And
right.
Yeah,
so
that's so interesting.
that's why I start
Huh.
doing it because people tailor their Levi's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I
Yeah, that
didn't know
makes
was a
sense.
thing. I was like, people tailor their jeans. And now I'm like, do I need to go tailor my jeans? Do y'all tailor your
Right.
jeans? I
I
imagine
don't.
no.
No. No.
I'm like, I can barely
No.
wear jeans. I'm like in sweats right
No,
now.
same.
I know. Same.
Okay.
Same.
And
Uh,
Ruth, when are you getting married? Is it coming up?
Type B. I think we'll get married within like probably a year from now. My fiance is Mexican, and so we probably will do a Mexican wedding.
so
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, so that probably I can just have a wedding planner deal with all that stuff. But yeah, it'll probably be next year. And we just went to a wedding that was in I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mexico, but Merida or Oaxaca. So or in Dallas. I don't really know.
Somewhere.
Oaxaca,
Oh,
you're
that's so
going to have
exciting.
mezcal.
Yes, yes. That's one thing I was like, is this just gonna be a bunch of drinking? So we'll see. But that is the beginning of the planning. I have people around me that are like telling me what I should do, and I'm like, no.
You're like, "I'm good."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't. I'm type B. I planned my wedding and it was fine and I
Oh,
wasn't like anal about stuff. Amanda,
okay.
did you plan a wedding? Did you have a wedding?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was actually much more like type A with my wedding, which is
Mm.
kind of shocking. But
Hmm.
I was even my brother, he's getting married in a couple weeks or a couple months. And I was talking to his fiance and I'm like, looking back, there were definitely like I remember freaking out over the napkins. For some reason, the napkins
Me
like sent me
too.
over the edge. And I'm just like, why? Like
Really?
it's not looking back, I'm like, I don't even know what the napkins look like. So I don't know why I was so pressed over the napkins. But yeah, I definitely was like had a vision and wanted it executed exactly
Get
how I
that.
wanted it.
I got
Same here.
married in a state park, and so I had, like, a specific rustic
Oh.
vision, and so I also went crazy over the napkins and this because I wanted a pink velvet, and it had to be dusty
Mm.
rose, and I am not like that person, but I was like, "No, you guys don't understand. It has to be dusty rose because this
Like
is
this is what I see.
I don't get to go to Joshua Tree or Palm Springs for my wedding, so I need it to come here, and that is what." Yeah, so I remember yeah,
That's
the
so funny.
but I know exactly what they looked like now, but I'm like,
Mhm.
"But, like, we got our florals
Hmm.
offline and, like, made our own bouquets because I'm like, "That I'm not paying someone to do," because they are
It's
so
so expensive.
expensive.
Mhm.
We still spent, like, $28,000 in 2019 to have a park wedding,
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
unreal what weddings cost.
and we got to BYOB. Like, we didn't even have to pay anyone for that, so that is a big expense,
That's
Yeah.
yes.
but reselling is a great job as a mom, as Amanda can attest,
Yeah.
because she has 4 kids. I have one Amanda, I say this every time. I'm like, "I don't know how you have 4," especially as I'm, like, watching The Mormon Wives, and I know you're in Idaho, which is where
Oh my
Dakota is
gosh.
from. I'm like,
Yeah.
all these people have so many children, and
It's like it's a cultural thing here. Like I don't think I even my 7-year-old last night, he was like, "Did you always want 4 kids?" And me and my husband always did. Like, when we got married, we
Oh.
both come from families of 4. So I'm like, yeah, like, we always did, but I also do like, we've talked a lot about this because I was raised Mormon, like, I think it's something you're just expected. I don't know. I had kids when I was freaking young. I was 20 when I had my first kid. Like, I was a literal baby, and you just I don't know. But I always say 4 kids is a shit ton of kids. Like, it's a lot of kids.
You
And
work.
the older they get, the more I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's a lot of kids." Like, it's just yeah.
What kind of car do you drive? Like, is
Yeah,
it a
I drive
I
a
minivan?
always
I
think.
drive a minivan. I drive a minivan, but we're gonna hopefully buy probably a Suburban or something. We're honestly, like,
Because
we're
they're
maxed out in the
friends.
minivan.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
well,
like,
and they're age now. They
yeah,
want their friends to come, right?
yeah, yeah, and it's like the cargo space. We're packing that thing as full as
Right.
possible, so I honestly don't know that an SUV will give us that much more room. We might even still have to get a rack for, like, camping and things like that on top of the
Oh
car,
my
but
God.
I know.
I think the other thing is from this conversation that I have felt a lot better about is like hearing that you two like can't find items sometimes or,
Oh my
like,
gosh.
because I'm dealing with that with 2 items right now and I've torn apart my storage units and I cannot find them. And I'm like, I just got the notification on the call, final cancellation from Poshmark because now it's like
Ugh,
within 5 days,
Yep,
I
and
know.
suspend
they'll
you.
suspend you, and it's like no mercy on that either. Yeah, no, I feel like there's so many times where I'm like, I think and then they just turn up randomly, and I'm like, I know, I
And then that
looked
pisses
there.
me off even more. I'm like, "Okay, well, now I don't need you." Like,
Yeah.
it's too
Right,
late.
right.
And it'll
I
be like
know.
right there. I like found something
Yeah,
the other day and I was like, What? Like,
I
um,
know.
Ruth, one thing I didn't ask you about, what's your inventory system like?
In terms of like processing and then storing.
Yeah. Do you like number them, like how people like that whole thing? Because that has stressed me out.
So that's like even speaking to what you guys were saying earlier about like what other people do, I feel like when I first started, that was something I felt a lot of pressure in, and like that I saw so many people being super organized and doing things that I then like. I remember I watched this girl who also isn't a reseller anymore, and she would get an item, she would put it in a plastic bag, she would number the bag, she would put it in a bin with a corresponding, which I think is so,
Mhm.
like, very, very detailed, and I remember I, like, sat and I did that, and then the way I am, okay, I take it out of the bag, well, then where's the
No.
bag? Then we have to find the bag again that has the number because I wanna reuse the bag, I don't wanna just throw away a bunch of plastic if I don't have to, like, and I was like, "Okay, this," so then I would just start throwing it in bags, and it was just like, "This isn't," it looks really cool, it sounds
Yeah.
really cool, and I feel like there's so much information we can get that, like, what's cool about reselling is there's people that are putting out really good information that works for them, but it's, like, figuring
Yes.
out what works for you, and that didn't
Mhm.
work for me. Like, I can't put, and also, what do I do with, like, massive coats? Like, those aren't going in a bag,
Right.
so then
Yeah.
where are those going? And, like, then
Mhm.
those are going in, like, I actually, so one of the ways I have a storage unit, and then I have, my two-car garage has a bunch of rolling racks that I got from a last call that was closing, like, years ago, so I have a lot of things hanging, and then I do have bins where, like, it'll be in the bin, but it's just an open bin where it has the item, and so I'll see on the listing, like, it has the where I can find it, and then I go and I get it, and then I take it. So it's
I love that.
pretty easy, like, I don't, but
Mhm.
I also, like, give myself some time, like, I'll put it somewhere or put it in the storage unit, and then I won't, process it, like, it doesn't automatically have to go into a bin, like, I was a little bit too hard on myself too about that, where I was like, sometimes it's like, I'll sell things within the week if after I
Right.
list it, and I don't wanna, like, the time where it's like, okay, I know that it's in this front bin that needs to be processed, so I think that, like, you figure out what works for you, but I feel like there is
Mhm.
sometimes a lot of, like, people that are super organized, which is great, but, like, just I realize that doesn't work for me, like, I
Yeah.
don't need to put
No.
it in a bag.
That's the same for me. I have never had, like, detailed process at all. I just keep like items together. So I have, like, men's
Oh,
pants together, women's dresses, shorts
smart.
and skirts I keep together, shoes I keep together, and then, like, I have an accessories bin. Because for me, it's like, I just know myself, I will never keep up on that system.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
I would be the same way. I would lose a bag or something, and then I would just get annoyed, and it would all that work would go out the window. So I just keep like items together, and I mean, I think that obviously gets harder, like, the more
Mhm.
massive like the more inventory you have. If you have like a really massive closet, that would be tricky. But for
That's
me,
how I
I'm
do
like,
it.
that's fine.
That's
Yeah.
how, but I started doing it the other way, Ruth. And I think this is why people burn out is you do see, and to your point, Amanda, doing everything a certain way and like not operating how your brain actually works. And so my
Mhm.
husband's like, just do it this way. So I tried but when I go in to look for something, I'm like, and then it
Yeah.
all gets everywhere. And then I'm like doing it from multiple bins. And then I'm like, uh-oh, where did they go? And I don't have Wi-Fi in my storage unit.
Mhm.
And then, so now I've gone back to like items together, or I sell a lot of Ralph. So I keep Ralph
Oh, that's a great
with
idea too.
like
Yeah, if you have like a
items.
Yeah,
brand that you
brand.
sell a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
because then I'm like, okay, I know. And it's like Ralph blazer or Ralph jackets, Ralph tops, or like shirts and
Mhm.
bottoms and stuff like that because it's, yeah, or I'll do like velvet or sequins. So I have those bins. And again, this tells you a little bit about my closet where it's like I have enough sequins
You have
and
enough that you
velvet.
need a full,
That
full
you
bin
need
of
a whole
sequins.
bin.
I
love
have 3
that.
bins of velvet. So,
I love that.
um, but again, because those you can't like crush them up, you have to be kind of
Yeah,
gentle
that's
with them
so
all.
true.
Right.
And I think,
Yeah.
but that is something I think a lot of people burn out because you do see people with their organized boxes and they like go through and it's like process a thing with me. And I'm like,
Never
it looks
gonna be.
beautiful, but it can never be
Yeah.
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
No, my friend Ashley has like, she is super on top of things organized. I love her. And she like has everything in like a mailer and it like has
Mhm.
her logo on it. It's stunning. And I'm like,
Wow.
and that's the thing too, is like, I also feel like packaging. Like I saw so many people, I don't know if this is still a thing where like, I would watch these girls that would go on and they would package these items so pretty. They would do like beautiful tissue paper, sticker, a thank you card, beautiful tape. Like my stuff is like
No.
it has some tissue paper. I send it with love, but that it's not pretty, like it's
Yeah.
not like and
I don't do
cut
tissue
something.
paper. And I
Okay,
sell
yeah.
like I sent a $1,500 dress out the other day in a poly mailer and she got it and she was happy. And it's like, you
Yeah.
don't need all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
Right. All that extra work too. It's like
Mhm.
that takes so much time. But the people that do it, and like if I buy from Poshmark and someone does that, I do appreciate it. Like I do, but I also just know I don't want to spend the time doing that. So
Mhm. I know. I'm the exact same way, and I've gotten some crap on TikTok about this, but like I'm not going to. And I've even stopped like using a clear poly bag because it's like so much single-use plastic that I
yeah.
don't know. And I'm like I've shipped thousands and thousands of items, and I'm like I've maybe had an issue one time, two times that I can think of. I don't know.
Mine is just I put them in the bags because of storage and because they are typically old pieces or cashmere or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want them to get damaged, but otherwise, like my jeans don't go in a poly mailer. I just throw them in. The one thing I have invested in is poly mailers that are thicker. You know, those ones on TikTok Shop. I have gotten those from their
Like
like
with
pretty
padding?
package, not the padding, but they're like a really thick plastic. It's from the Pretty
Oh.
Packaging Company,
I'm gonna look it
and
up.
there's like different ones and it's fun. They're a little bit more expensive. Have you used the Pretty Packaging
Yeah,
bags?
I like those. Those are nice.
They're
Oh.
very
They're
thick.
like a lot thicker.
Yeah, they don't rip.
Yeah.
And so I've started using those more and I feel more comfortable sending things directly in that. So like
Mhm.
with my jeans or whatever, I'll just put them in that because
Yeah.
they're like probably 3 times thicker than
Mhm.
which is not great for
Huh.
the environment. But again, we're not sending new items. We're saving
Yeah.
things from the
Right.
landfill and putting them
Right.
into use again.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like Whatnot has kind of like when you're just like when I'm shipping out 90 orders in 2 hours, I'm like, I'm not putting tissue paper in each of these boxes.
No.
No.
Also, like you got such an insane deal on these items that like it's gonna
Right.
get to you safe. Like I'm not like just tossing it in a box and slapping a label on it, but also I'm like, I'm not gonna spend 5 minutes on every package. I would be shipping for 6 hours. Like
Yeah.
that's not happening.
Plus, have you seen where people like include like chocolate and it melts and it ruins the product? And
Yeah.
like, I have gotten things from people that include like religious propaganda type
No.
things where it's like Jesus saves, and I'm like, whoa, this is like, I don't want that. Like,
You're like, thank you.
and
Great.
or they're like include letters and it says like God bless you, and like you don't know what anyone's affiliation is. Like,
Right.
let's just like keep it neutral, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten any of these like extra items that folks send?
I feel like I made a video of this. I got a girl who she was doing a return and she sent me a message. she was mad about something, like she returned it. So she looked up where I had gone to college. I went to a Christian college, but like, whatever. Like, who cares where I went to college? It's not, it has nothing to do with like the college. Like,
you went to school
anyway.
somewhere and it was a good school.
She found where I went to school and she like said like, you're not a Christian because you lie. And then she printed out the definition of a liar. And like this whole thing. And I was like, yeah, she went like cuckoo for, I got worried too. And I was like, and then I posted about it. I was like, I don't know how she figured out who I was. And I was like, oh, it has my first and last name. Like, duh.
I know.
But then I was like, she's kind of scary. Like, this, like,
no,
woman
it is actually scary.
So much time. And then, like, you have my house address. I've not gotten anybody, I don't buy, like, I buy on Whatnot and I expect people on Whatnot to send things quickly, or not quickly, just like,
in a cereal box.
So selling on Whatnot, I realized, like, you literally, after those shows, it's like, you're on a high, you sell a lot, and then you're like, okay, now I have a ton of work to do.
Now the hard work,
like, yeah. So it's like, I get it. And then on Poshmark, I feel like, I used to buy more. I used to source more on Poshmark, and I feel like there is a lot of opportunity to source on Poshmark. I just don't source on Poshmark anymore. I don't really know why, but I'm not buying a lot.
The prices.
Yeah, probably,
you can source on Depop for way cheaper.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of you do that, but they sell brand name stuff on there for super cheap because it's like bins people selling it for like $15. And I'm like, it's like a vintage Ralph Lauren jacket for $15. Absolutely.
So
I'll take that.
Right?
Yeah. That's probably cheaper than the thrift store.
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah.
Honestly.
So Depop is my new one, but I also used to source on Poshmark and I don't anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't at all.
Yeah. Yeah, prices are crazy. I know we are almost at time, so I would love to ask y'all. Actually, Ruth, let's go with this one first. If somebody were getting started in reselling, or if you were to go back in time and tell yourself any piece of advice, or maybe even the best piece of advice you've gotten for reselling, what is that advice?
I think kind of like what we've talked about is just like doing what's best for you, understanding what you can take on, and like not letting other people's opinions or what other people are saying influence you too much. Like, I think that is something that, like, as I've continued, it's like, I'm going to do what works for me, and I can give out pieces of advice and take in pieces of, advice or influence, but I'm really going to do something that's like very specific to my background and what I love and what I see and what I can accomplish every day. So I think for me, especially, like, if someone's getting started, I mean, my first piece of advice is like, don't get into debt. Like, don't buy too much to where you're like, so, like, I've talked to some girls and they're like, they'll even tell me like, oh, I'm getting out of reselling. Like, and then they're like, I have all of this inventory and I have this debt associated with it. And I'm like, I feel like that's not talked enough on, because if you're paying like interest on it, you're screwed. Like, there's no way you're going to make enough profit for this. And I don't want anyone to like look at, especially my business, because I do put out my numbers quite a bit. And I think people think like, oh, I need to buy more to like have that type of business. That's not how I started. And like, I took a long time to get here and I don't have any debt. So like, that is been important. And so that's one thing, like, I don't want it to be this like hustle culture where it's like buy more to make more. It's like, no, like start off small and then slowly move towards a bigger business. But you need to have those, like, I would say first couple years to really be cheap and like super, like, just don't overdo it. That would be my
That's Amanda's advice,
I think
too.
That's such...
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, I think that is literally such good advice.
Yeah, the no debt. I have spent a shit ton. Amanda knows this. I am not in debt, but I need to earn $25,000 back, and I've sold, probably $150,000 worth of product. So it's like...
I mean, I feel like you're in a little bit of a different situation, though, because it's like, you're not buying random junk in the hope of making money. Like, what you're buying, and
it's still like, not good. It's still a shopaholic. Yeah. I just got back on my GLP-1, so my shopping now, I'm like, not interested in it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I moved on. I'm like, oh, my dopamine hit's going to come from listing. But I do think that's really important. Like the debt, like it's different if you're using money that you have versus debt, and how you're doing all of that. I think staying in line with your costs is really important.
Yeah.
And then do either of you have a high or a low to share in terms of reselling for the week or the month or whatever, or
Mm.
something that comes to the top of your mind that you want to share?
Okay, I'll start. I feel like a low that I'm having is that, like, we have a lot of financial goals, and I'm just realizing Whatnot just, like, takes so much inventory, and where I drive to pick up my inventory, but I can, like, only pick up so much at a time. Also, like, I can only store so much at a time. I'm realizing, like, to scale Whatnot, you just need massive amounts
Mm.
of stuff.
Hmm.
And where I'm in the pallet business, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, am I" like, I'm buying 3 to 4 pallets, probably like 3 pallets a month, and it takes a full day for me to travel to get them, so that's, like, hard on my kids, especially my oldest, and it's just like, okay, so if I want to up it even more, because like, I definitely could do more shows per week, but it's like the inventory thing is just, like, in the back of my head, I'm like, how do you get more inventory without it completely disrupting your life? And also, like, where do you store the inventory? Would I have to get, like, another storage unit? I don't know. That's kind of where my mind is at lately, is just, like,
I
there's, like, growing pains.
I have
Mhm.
unsolicited advice that just came to mind. What if you get
Please
like a
share.
college student to drive a U-Haul up? Go pick up the pallets,
Ooh.
pay them to drive up. Maybe they make
Mhm.
a couple $100. Or, if you have like a niece or nephew who can drive or a sister-in-law or
Yeah.
whatever, what if you just pay them, load up the pallets, they take a U-Haul,
Yeah.
you get 3 or 4 at a time, and
Yeah,
they
that's a
move
good
it
idea.
directly into what if you get it like a she shed from Home
Yeah.
Depot or I know you can get cheap like shipping containers and you just get one of those
Yeah.
and you put them in there. Anyway, that's my unsolicited advice is you
I
have
know.
somebody else do that because we have this thing called
Yeah.
Lug out here. I don't know if you've heard of it. You can actually hire people to bring you stuff or you can do like
Oh,
Uber
interesting.
and they'll like if you use it's called
Hmm.
Lugs, Lugz, and
Hmm.
you can pay them to move you can pay them to do whatever. We even
That's
have
cool.
like Uber
Huh.
Eats. If you order something, they will put it in your Uber and bring it over to you. So I
Hmm.
feel like I don't know where you source, but I am sure there is a local community college and somebody looking to make a few $100.
Yeah. I think the thing that stresses me out about that is, like, what would be my liability if,
Right.
like, something went wrong. That's, like, really scares me. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if I would have to have insurance or something for
U-Haul,
someone
if it
else
was
to
U-Haul,
do that.
oh, but you mean for the inventory? Because I know U-Haul covers like you would have the driver, whatever. I
Mhm.
bet you there's a business that does this. I bet you
Yeah.
anything there is a
Yeah, that's
business.
true.
And if you post about it, because like, I know this is weird, but I am affiliated with like a foster, like dog fosters, and they're
Oh,
always
that's so cool.
asking people to bring the dogs to Idaho
Yeah.
typically. And it's like to drive over there. And so I'll email them and ask them about insurance or whatever. But I feel like there is a way to do this for you to scale if you want
Yeah.
that you don't have to do the admin or you don't have to do the heavy work.
I know. I know. It's just, like, I feel like it's all consuming right now. I'm just like,
Totally.
"Okay, like,
Or
what do
maybe
we
just
do?"
don't do
And
it.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I know.
Ruth, how about you? What's a high or low that you've experienced lately?
Yeah, similar to Amanda, just and when she's saying that, I think it is this constant need of like, do I want to do more and how does that look? And then because you see other people doing more and they're killing it and you're like, could I do that? And then yeah, the decisions that come behind that have not consequences, but like just there's a lot to that. And then I think probably like a high. I think one of the things is, like, I've, like, tried to be open-minded with different ways that I've sourced, and, like, I just made a really cool connection with, like, a stylist here in Dallas, and I, like, just saw her this morning, and she's gonna give me some incredible pieces, which is another really cool business that I actually don't do a lot of, but it's 0 cost to me, and, like, she's just been incredible, and so I'm really excited to kinda
That's so
venture
cool.
yeah, and I also don't wanna do it for a lot of people, so I'm, like, venturing in with a really cool person that's, like, really understanding and just has, like, incredible pieces, so I'm excited about that because it's, like, she found me on social media, I'm not pushing that, and she's been great. So I think it's also just, like, when things change and, like, sourcing changes and that always changes for me, like, I don't have anything that's, like, fully consistent, like, when something new comes in, I'm always really excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool. I think that's, like, something I was thinking about, like, how all of our businesses are so different. Also, I think, like, one thing that makes someone successful is just, like, being able to pivot,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
being able to take on, like, new opportunities and new things because, like, that is how you do scale and how you change things up a little bit and how, like, without necessarily working harder, but like just like finding different opportunities. And I think you're really good at that. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, my high and low kind of are the same. I am so overwhelmed with the amount of inventory that I have unlisted, and that is
Yeah.
just like my storage unit is just crazy. But I also know that's the high because I can just go and it's like, hey, I have all of this inventory at the
Yeah.
tips of my fingers. And
Mhm.
once I get that up, it is going to fuel things. Fingers crossed.
Yes. No, that's
Because
so
if it
true,
just
though. That's a
sits
good way to look
there,
at it. Yeah.
yeah. So that, yeah, it's my high and low. And then I can't find this. My low is always, I can't find a piece. I can't find two pieces right now. So last
Oh,
time we chatted, I couldn't find the pieces. I found them after. So maybe this will be my
Perfect.
good
oh,
luck.
good. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
glad you found them.
Yeah.
This time, hopefully, it's the same.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ruth and Amanda, both,
Thanks.
obviously. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening,
course.
everyone. And we will see you next week.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.